What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Scarlet Cyanide Sit and Sip. As always, I'm your favorite gal pal, Scarlet Cyanide, and I am joined by my lovely co-host,
Jordan. I'm also here.
And if this is your first time joining us for Sit and Sip, or if you're newer to the channel, or even, I don't know, you've been a long-time fan, welcome back, everybody. We've made it to All Stars 10. The
Tournament of All Stars.
Yes, Tournament of All Stars. So if you don't know, I'm Scarlet Cyanide, and I have been a drag performer here in the St. Louis area for the past 9 years now, I think. And this is actually my 6th year of commentating on Drag Race professionally.
Yeah. And I'm newer to the drag scene. I've said I've always been weirdly drag adjacent, but I don't know, something I never quite made it over just watching the Rocky Horrors and stuff like that to actually watching drag. I don't know, I just never made it, but I'm glad I made it. It feels right. I like to make a lot of my own clothes and decorate my own clothes.
I love your point of view. You always bring like a very knowledgeable point of view. And I feel like this first challenge that we're going to be talking about today is actually so perfect for you.
Yeah, I mean, going right away. I love it. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I am in.
Yes. Well, as y'all know, this is the show where we grab a seat and take a sip and get into it. So let's do it. All right, Jordan. So this is the Tournament of All Stars. This All Stars is a brand new format that we have not seen yet on Drag Race. So let's just like break down what's even happening.
Because they kept teasing us with pieces of it for a while, even as recently as yesterday with that preview.
The top 2 winners of each challenge will receive 2 points each. They will then lip sync for the win, and the winner will receive 1 extra point and $10,000 cash tip. Okay.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, there are 4 other points up for play because if you're not in the top, you are in the bottom.
So we're just calling it the bottom 4 because that's what it is.
I mean, Rue literally said if you're not in the top, you're in the bottom.
So top 2, bottom 4.
There we go. So the bottom 4, they each get 1 point. By the way, they're also bringing in the pins back.
They're bringing the badges.
Yeah, they're bringing in the badges.
Have the badges ever been stateside, or has that always been I feel like that's always usually the other seasons. Or the other franchises.
No, you're right. It has been typically the other seasons, but they did do a beautiful benefactress badge in actually the last season.
Okay.
Of All Stars. So this actually is not... It's new, but it's not like new.
Okay, it's not unprecedented.
It's not unprecedented. In this badge form now, they're either going to get a badge that says 3, 2, or 1. So the winner of the week who won the 3 points, the 2 for being on the top 2, and then the 1 for winning, they'll get the 3. Then the second place girl gets the 2. The others get the 1. And now what they have to do, though, they can't keep those for themselves. They have to give them to the MVQ, the most valuable queen. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean just one of the other bottom 4 girls. They could give their pin to one of the top girls,
If one of the top girls was just that good, they could absolutely do that.
This has already led to, some light fun drama. And most importantly, alliances forming.
Like right away.
Oh, right away. I mean,
right away.
The girls were very smart. Like before they even knew about the giving of the pins, like as soon as they got into the workroom, they were already talking of alliances. And there's a lot of like interpersonal connections already.
Like Aja and Olivia, both in the same house.
Both in the same, ballroom house, Miyake Mugler, which as a legendary fan, I'm like, Miyake Mugler. Like, I love it. Like, it's good to just feel all those feelings again.
That's so wonderful.
Yes, I love it. And then we have the Seattle sisters.
Yeah,
we have Bosco and Irene.
Bosco and Irene, the alien.
So we've already chatted a little bit about some first impressions type things, but I want to kind of chat about each girl. Are there any girls that like right away were really sticking out to you kind of at the start of the episode?
I mean, Bosco, definitely that big shoulder, big red hair. and then the tie that showed off her incredible figure.
Oh my gosh, right?
Absolutely show-stopping for me.
I'm
struggling to think of anybody else, which I know even Ru said she was having trouble.
The body, I know, right?
The body is crazy.
The body is blinding.
It's impeccable.
Like she said, like everybody should have more money, so that way they, can get all the work done.
More money, more lobotomies.
More money, more lobotomies. Yeah, Bosco was a really big standout for me.
Yeah.
In every way, of course, visually, but just, I have missed her, like, quick, witty humor.
Yes, I love that. That is a struggle at the beginning of seasons, usually of normal seasons, because some of these girls might not have that, and often a lot of girls don't have that, and it can be a little bit of a trudge. But we've already right off the rip, we've got Bosco and Irene.
Oh my god!
So we've got a running commentary, no matter what.
And I was just gonna say, the girls with the biggest personalities: Bosco, Irene, and Aja. I mean, right away for me, baby. That's giving top 3 of this bracket.
I'm getting very, very top 3 from them.
Okay, so I gotta talk about Aja really quick.
Of course.
Because, like, everything that Aja's been doing, I am here for. Now, the internet loves to hate on Aja. I've already seen, like, on Instagram, like, she had to post something because I think people are being, like, rude and mean about her appearance or something. And I hate that she always has to go through that. I'm like, why does this queen who is so talented, so funny, gives great TV?
Yeah.
She was like, yes, like, I had a huge glow up between season 9 and her All-Star season.
Yeah.
But coming back to All-Stars 10, she really is, like, she's kind of like a standout for me.
The internet is just so rude.
It can be sometimes.
It can be so rude.
But it can also be a nice, beautiful, safe place.
It
and that's what we're trying to do here. So we're going to build these gals up.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about Olivia Lux. And, oh my God, it is so great to see her back.
So beautiful.
Isn't
oh my God. As I've said, I know it's a weird thing to obsess about, but her eyebrows are everything to me, especially in the confessions.
I know.
Oh, I just love them.
I know. Her eyebrows are almost like their own persona for me in a way.
Yeah.
Like, Olivia is beautiful. It very much seems like she's, like, grown so much since her original season. She's not giving you baby voice anymore, which was, like, a thing. The facade has dropped, and I feel like we really are seeing Olivia for the first time. She was still coming across, like, very Michelle Obama, as Jamal pointed out. So I hope she can,
just extremely poised.
Just very poised, yeah. I'm in the challenges where she's going to have to work extra hard to stand out and not let her timidness hold her back.
Absolutely. Similar thing for Phoenix.
Definitely.
Similar thing for Phoenix.
Yes. So excited. As they said, it's her first time back in 25,000 years.
Yeah.
But actually, it's been like 15 years.
It's been actually 15 years.
So I love Phoenix getting to come back. But I will say, I was like a little underwhelmed at the performance. And I mean, Ice Spice, who was our awesome very, very first guest judge of this season. Ice Spice even pointed out, though, oh, you were really timid.
She said something that, like, I can see how Phoenix got a little hurt by it, but she basically said, you're an icon, but I would never know it because you're so shy.
Right.
Which is, like, that hurts, too.
Definitely, yeah. Now, Miss Deja, who is honestly just the sweetest and nicest person.
I love her so much.
I love her too. I'm obsessed with the fact that she's back. I mean, she's been a shoo-in for me as a person to come back.
Yeah.
And I am glad that she's already gotten some good moments with Ru. You know, she got to point out, like, hey, in my last season, I was actually doing really well, but she was just, like, constantly hitting, like, safe. We got to learn something new about Deja.
We did something pretty scary, honestly.
Yeah, pretty scary. Is she had, like, elective, like, weight loss surgery.
Yeah.
And it did not really go as planned. And she had a lot of complications.
She said she potentially could have died on that table, which is very scary.
It's very scary. So I'm so glad that she was here and got to obviously share her story and bring visibility to that. And I love that this is like such a body positive season overall.
Yes, absolutely.
And we actually have a lot of folks sharing like their own like body journeys, whether it's the weight loss surgery of Deja or the overall body transformation of Bosco,
or which was very funny to me, them coming into the workroom and seeing their jumpsuits for the first time.
Oh my God!
And commenting on the difference in sizes, especially Aja going, "Whoa, look how skinny I am!" If that's what they did,
right. I know that was funny. They were like saying who has to swap jumpsuits.
They're like, "I don't know about this one."
Okay, so let's get into this maxi challenge, which was the winner chicken dinner metal group
music video,
and this was essentially the girl group challenge, a performance challenge. I love, and I think it's so appropriate when they start out any season with some sort of performance challenge, whether it's a girl group or the talent show or whatever it is. I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity to kind of have like a fair first episode because, as Irene put it, performing is what these girls do for their dinner. You know, they sing for their supper.
Yeah, with the nature of the challenge, the whole writing your own verse and everything, like we've got a more clear vehicle to make everyone work together and actually see who these people are.
Yeah.
Like, I think you couldn't have picked a better way to showcase somebody because, we could have gotten a talent show and Irene could have made water again. And I actually think that would have been pretty funny.
That would
have been extremely funny. But I'm also kind of glad we didn't go that route because it's more of a toss up with a talent show.
It is.
Because if they're just bad, then it's just bad.
Right.
Whereas with the song, if one person is bad, it'll be over soon and we'll be on to the next person.
Style, like a rock and roll look.
Yeah.
Which is very fun. And absolutely. I will say, they did get very different interpretations of rock and roll looks.
Yes.
But yeah, so let's talk about each girl. Like, let's start with Aja. She was in the top 2 and was our winner of the week. So she has 3 points.
Yes.
After this episode. What did you think about Aja?
As Michelle said, Pokemon Schiaparelli look. I mean, I never thought anybody would need to say that, but also we love Pokemon. I don't have a Jinx here, but she was clearly Jinx, and I loved that. Her verse was perfect choice for the first verse. There was a lot of energy. She showed in the rehearsal, but she really showed in the performance that, people were like, oh, you can rap, you can do this. Can you do heavy metal? Can you do punk rock? And she did it in the rehearsal, and she did it in a way that you couldn't miss. So then when she gets to the performance, she just, killed it.
I think she did set a really high bar, especially with her lyrics and the way that she attacked the song. I love that she started her verse out with, they're going to put the best girl out first, or basically something like that.
That was almost exactly what she said. It was great.
It was just, nail on the head for me when it comes to showing her lyric ability. I thought the way that she rhymed things and the content of her verse, I think she did the best job with saying the most in her verse, but making it sound like it was actually a real song, and not kind of the typical I'm a drag queen, give me the crown, that kind of stuff. Now, her runway look, while I loved the reference, I love that she did the Jinx Pokemon, and I love the whole Schiaparelli design, and I overall loved the concept. I am gonna slightly lean towards a little bit of Ross's comment where I would have liked to see maybe just it being more purple. I think it wasn't that she didn't do her arms. She did put makeup on her arms,
but not enough. It was not blended.
It wasn't enough. And I mean, the other piece of that is I know what she was giving wasn't necessarily alien, but Irene, who was actually also in the top with her, we got to see somebody who did do an all over body color perfectly. So I just have to be real, I guess, where like I love the overall concept of Aja's runway. It just, the execution maybe wasn't like exactly what I was, I don't know, expecting. But Irene's look, oh my God, her runway was like honestly so perfect. So the runway category was tits. Oh, can I say that? And slits. Oh, but don't worry, we're just gonna talk about like serving the chicken leg, okay? Like a slit in the skirt. And Irene's look was just, oh my God, the showgirl alien, the all green with like the big, I think Ice Spice called it a headboard, but it was like, it was like she
feathered.
Yeah.
Beautifully feathered.
She did. She brought her own like world, her own set with her.
Yeah.
That was such an incredible runway look. So honestly, I think my complete favorite. Like I loved everything that Aja brought, and like lyrically, I don't think like anybody touched Aja, but Irene honestly was my overall favorite in the challenge. I think she literally could have been an actual rock and roll like professional person. Like,
I mean, she said to Jamal, like, look at me, I know this stuff.
Yes. I mean, this was just such a fantastic episode for Irene. Like, talk about redemption.
Yeah.
Talk about how she went home first, and then she, well, didn't win technically this episode, but was top 2.
Yeah.
And like, arguably like the favorite of the episode.
Yeah.
You know, how did you feel about Bosco? The other, we're just gonna say top of the week.
In the performance, I really enjoyed how she did a funny King Diamond thing to start off the song.
Yeah.
But then just kind of settled back into the rhythm of the song the way it'd been going. The song had a really perfect flow. Like, I didn't really catch any choppiness. It was great. I felt like I expected more from her lyrics. Still a really good performance, though.
It was a really good performance. I loved her outfit. It was funny because, like, I know it's not, like, the Bosco uniform, but it was giving me still a little reminiscence.
I had that same thought, like, here's a variation.
Yeah, but, I'm not, like, shading her at all. Yeah, she looks sexy. She looks hot.
She is so beautiful.
She is.
It's crazy. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, even though, like, she wasn't quite, checking all the boxes in terms of, like, the lyrics and maybe the energy sometimes of the other two.
And she kept looking away from the camera, like Ross said.
She's just so beautiful that, it's like, no matter what she's doing, it's, like, hard to look away. Like, you almost just kind of naturally, like, want to look at her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Her runway look, though, was my absolute favorite runway look of the night. That, I mean, Michelle said it best, the burlesque motorcycle jacket and just those perfect boobs with the zippers. I mean, come on, what is not to love about this? It slayed my life.
The zipper pull pasties were just perfect. I just love that. And
I'm obsessed.
But I can't let us lose sight of how amazing her hair was. Because the way that zipper was so perfectly tailored and then just kind of wrapped around to a little pinch at the top.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
I need to know, is that like a wig chapel wig? I mean, I'm going to find out. I'm sure it's all tagged on Instagram and I can find out. But oh my God. Yeah, like whoever made that wig, artistry. Like
truly amazing.
Truly
And I was like, with the body, the incredible body that's very distracting, I don't want to lose sight of how beautiful the hair was.
I know. You're okay. Yeah, shout out for the hair. All right, now let's talk about the bottom 3 girls. Let's start with Miss Olivia Lux. I thought she was giving like Tina Turner down. Overall, what did you think of her?
I loved what she did in the performance. She was actually probably my favorite part of the performance, mainly because I knew that this is not really her wheelhouse. She's going to have to adjust somehow. Mm-hmm. And I think adjusting by being Tina was perfect. I feel like Michelle was like, I wanted you to get grittier. I didn't want you... Sometimes they're splitting hairs over things that don't need to be split hairs over, because she killed that.
Yeah, I thought that she was really, really great in the performance. I do think that they were a bit harsh in the critique. While she was beautiful, I love that she went like no chest. I thought that was very rock and roll, giving you a little
very
bit
cool.
of like gender bend. With the actual song and recording and lyrics, I mean, the lyrics were great. Her voice was beautiful. Okay, I want her to do the lyrics like 99.9% exactly how she did them. I think if she would have just given like one little like ow, you know, like metal screech or something at the end.
Again,
I think
very Tina.
Exactly. I think if she would have just leaned into it just once at the end, I think that would have given the judges what they really wanted from her. But I think it was like a really good effort overall, like a really good showing, even though she was nervous. Also, I loved her runway, giving you the little Kim outfit down.
Yeah, so good.
So good, so stunning.
The judges loved it. She knew they would. Mm-hmm. She knew what
Yeah, I mean,
and it was, again, beautiful.
It was so good. I'm glad that she did drag it up even more than the original look, because we have already gotten, you know, on past season 17, the judges have been like, don't just give us a recreation of like an exact dress, but she did a great job of dragging it up even more than it already was. Now, let's talk about Miss Deja Skye. Overall, what were your thoughts on Deja and the performance, her outfit and her verse, and then of course the runway?
So Deja, I really liked her lyrics a lot. But it was, and this is not even totally her fault, it was just the part of the song where it was almost like everybody else got a verse and she got a bridge. Because the song kind of changed, the guitar dropped out, and it was just bass and drums, which felt authentic and right for the song. But it did also mean she got the least amount of energy for her part.
Yeah, I think she did work really well with the part in the song.
Yeah.
I think the judges were correct and said that she was smart when she called back to like the Lil Jon and, you know, some successes.
That was perfect.
I do wish actually her lyrics would have been more, I feel like, about her. I think she fell into the trap of like bringing you body, bringing you legs, something about the thighs, and it's just kind of like generic stuff. I don't know if she like honestly took a good opportunity in the lyric writing department. Yeah, and honestly, I think I would give really her more of the critique of like, you need to grit it up a little bit. Like,
100% agree with that.
I feel like she was giving me, I mean, her and honestly Phoenix, they were giving me like the least rock and roll. Like, they didn't feel like they were fully committing to the rock and roll. They were like, okay, I'm going to do a song. Yeah,
I'm going to do a song. I'm going to do a little performance here. I could see that. I see what you're saying.
Now, I also felt the same way about her performance look. I thought that it was a very flattering look on her, but I'm just going to say, like, I feel like both the performance look and the runway look came from, like, the new, fresh Renaissance Fair collection.
Yeah.
Because the performance look was giving me like sexy Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And then,
it felt a little strange for rock and roll.
Yeah. And then her runway look was giving me like the queen of the Renaissance Fair.
Was, as you said, very flattering. It just didn't really sell rock and roll. And again, you just got to do the category.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what the category is, and you got to know what the category is and do the category. And that was then also a problem, like you said, on the runway too, where I was getting just Disney princess.
Yeah.
And yeah, if that was the category, sure. But it was tits and slits, and I saw, there was a slit, but it didn't feel that dramatic.
No, there you go. It was missing the drama.
It was missing the drama. It just felt like, here's a nice princess
dress.
Here's
a nice dress.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Phoenix, who did not wear a nice princess dress for the runway.
No, she did not.
Let's first talk about her verse and then her in the performance challenge.
See, I hate to say it because I'm really wanting to see some stuff. I'm really wanting to see it out of Phoenix. But I really wish she could have gone where Deja Skye went, because I just didn't feel like the energy was there. And as the last verse of the song, it kind of just felt like it just brought everything down at the end.
Yeah.
And that was unfortunate. It's crazy. She looks just like Cyndi Lauper.
She does look just like
She
Cyndi
looks
Lauper.
just like Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, I actually liked her performance look. I
Yeah.
thought the look was giving me like, oh, okay, I believe that's like a 40-year-old rock and roll lady for
Especially
sure.
one who still like performs and does shows the way she does.
Definitely, she is a good performer.
But the energy just wasn't there, and you could
energy.
feel it. You could feel the energy was not there.
She was giving like almost like sing talking in the verse, and there was just nothing rock and roll about it. In fact, if anything, I think the more interesting and distorted almost a way that you can make your voice in metal will like, that's what makes it even metal. You're like not scared to sound unhinged.
You gotta be ready to sound crazy.
Right. And she was giving me the most reserved.
Yeah.
I feel like in every way, it all kind of felt a little manufactured for me. Now, let's talk about the top 2 lip syncs. So the top 2 ended up being Aja versus Irene. So they each got their 2 points.
Yeah.
And then they got to lip sync to an Ice Spice song, which was really fun. And it was a very funny song. I am very familiar with Aja's performances because, like I said, I'm a big fan. I've watched her through Legendary. I watch all of like her videos on Instagram and everything. But this was like kind of a first time Aja performance experience for you. So how was this lip sync?
Well, she earlier she gave us her whole discography. She gave us the whole rundown. She's got it was 2 albums, a mixtape, and 4 EPs. I wanted to get that right. Oh, yeah. And it shows in the lip sync. The dancing and the lip sync abilities.
Irene did much better than in her original lip sync from when she, left.
Yeah.
But oh my God, Aja like buried her, honestly. Like, Aja hit every beat. Aja made every moment like with the face and like just embodied the whole like essence of this song. Yeah. She was giving you like, just every little thing that you needed. Aja was there. It was the Aja show for me. And here's the tea. I just don't think any of the other people in this bracket can touch Aja when it comes to performing. All right. So let's do our sip of the week and our spit of the week. So Jordan, who is your sip of the week?
My sip of the week is going to be Bosco. It's going to be Bosco. I am just obsessed with them. I think they might just be the one that I'm latching onto for this season, but we'll see, because we're only going to we only guaranteed 3 episodes.
My sip of the week, I think I'm going to have to give it to Irene, because she literally got most improved. Like, factual, she was the lowest ranking queen. She even said it herself on Drag Race ever. We didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And she came in and did like some Mars attacks all over All Stars.
So good.
And she had my favorite performance of the, girl group, the band challenge.
Oh, yeah.
And then she had one of my favorite runways. So I'm going to give my sip to Irene the Alien.
Absolutely.
Now, Jordan, who is your spit of the week?
My spit is going to go to Deja Skye. I just was not a fan of the Disney princess look. I was confused by the look in the performance. Mm-hmm. And I know she's great. And I know she's great, and I know I'm going to see great things. But this week, it's got to be my spit.
Yeah. My spit of the week, I have to give to Miss OG Phoenix. I know a lot has changed since her time, but I don't know. I think I was kind of just disappointed by her timidness. I did think
I was
that she was
not
gonna
expecting that.
Yeah, I was thinking she was going to honestly be a lot more ferocious, especially since she is like boss lady in real life.
Yes, exactly. Like I feel like I was expecting her to really just break out and like almost kind of instinctivally talk like a mama souffle.
Yeah,
like a mama souffle,
right? Like
slay.
Exactly. I wasn't maybe expecting her to be like Trinity the Tucker or something, but maybe a little bit. I don't know. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Just I was but we might still get it. I'm still expecting something. We're going to get some kind of surprise out of Phoenix.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, Jordan, before we can say our goodbyes, we need to know, what is your at the end of the day? So what are your final, one little sentence thought to wrap up this episode?
Absolutely. My at the end of the day is that apparently succeeding to spite people, which is how Irene constantly reads, and that's not a bad thing. not like reads. That's how she reads on TV. She's succeeding to spite everybody who sent her home first, and I love it.
Yes.
Succeeding for spite at the end of the day.
I love that. My at the end of the day is boobs.
I love that.
This is a very boobalicious celebration on this first episode.
It really is. A lot of boobs.
And plus we talked about, people's body journeys or whatever. So body positivity, boobs.
Yeah. At the end of the day?
At the end of the day, boobs.
All right.
All right, Jordan. This was so much fun. I can't wait to talk about the second episode because... y'all, it wasn't just one episode that came out. It was 2. So there's going to be another Sit and Sip coming out very, very shortly. It was fantastic seeing you all again. Take care of yourself, divas. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.